Welcome to the Greener Gifting Gang podcast, the show that delves into the reasons we love to choose, wrap, and share gifts with each other. Hi, I'm your host, Eve Kale, founder of Gift Wrapped by Eve, and I'm on a mission to help you experience the joy of gift giving while also considering the planet. Each episode, I'll be sharing ideas or interviewing guests who will help inspire your choice of gifts and how you present them. Whether that's for your own gifts or products you create or sell in your small business, will help you consider how to make small changes that can help your gifting be a little greener. Hello, Sue, and welcome to the Greener Gifting Gang podcast. It is great to have you here. I'm really looking forward to our chat ahead of us working together at the Home Life and You show next weekend. Really excited about that, and we're going to delve into that and talk a bit more about that as we go through the podcast. But before we get started, can you introduce yourself to the listeners, explain who you are and what you do?
Yes, hi Eve. It's really nice to talk to you today. My name is Sue. I am the founder of Eazywraps fabric gift wrapping. I take surplus fabrics, so I don't make new fabric, and it's called deadstock. It saves it from ending up in incinerators and landfills because this fabric generally isn't being used for the purpose it was made for. So manufacturers will either do overruns or they won't be paid for a run of fabric, and often it just ends up being thrown away. It's textile waste, and that's a huge issue with worldwide. Hundreds of thousands of tons are discarded in the UK every year, and it's not as widely publicised as plastics, but it is a real issue. It also saves unrecyclable single-use wrapping paper from going into waste. A lot of people don't quite realise still that there is a difference in the wrapping paper that you buy.
Yeah.
So if you can crumple it up and it's not plasticky, then it's usually recyclable. It normally has a label. But if it's plasticky, chances are it's a cheaper wrapping paper and it will end up in landfill with the tape that's on it. So my Eazywraps are multi-purpose for the environmentally friendly solution to gift wrapping, and it really does make gifts look beautiful.
Fantastic. So, how did this all come about? How did you get into using fabric wraps, or is it Furoshiki? Is that the right way of saying it? I'm always a bit unsure.
So you're right. Yes, it is Furoshiki. Meghan Markle got a little bit of a roasting on social media recently because she called it Furoshiki, and it was all over social media, but it is Furoshiki. It's been used in Japan since 700 AD, and they used to use it as a bath towel. So it's the original bath towel in Japan, really. They used to carry their personal belongings to and from the public baths before they had their own bathrooms. Stand on it to get dressed after they've been bathing. And then as time progressed, it fell out of favour for quite some time when carrier bags became far more convenient and popular. But in the 21st century, it's gained popularity again. Carrying things like it was originally intended, wrapping gifts and wrapping things around the home. There's a multitude of uses. So you can wrap a gift, give it to your special person, and traditionally, Furoshiki, they return the wrap to the person who's gifted it. Or you can let them keep it, which is quite nice because then they have something special to remember you by when they wrap something around the home or they use it to regift itself. So it's very reusable and lasts a long time and makes a gift very individual.
Yeah, so it's something that I have only really scratched the surface of because most of the wrapping that I do is with paper, and I share different tips of how to use less paper, make different choices so that what you do use is recyclable. Things like paper tape, for example. But the fabric side of things is something that I have only done a little bit of. And so I was so excited that to find what you were doing and learn more about what you're doing, because it's definitely something that is on my radar, because it is, it is a greener option for sure. And you've taken it to that next level, haven't you, by using fabric that would otherwise just go to waste. So how do you find the fabric that you're using? Have you got different suppliers, or how do you do it?
Well, this is the bit I love because there are so many fabrics out there, and taking surplus fabric means that you will get a roll or a piece of fabric. I have pieces of fabric gift wrapping that are one-offs, unique, never to be made again, because that fabric just hasn't been made again. Um, I have sourced fabric from a shop in Walthamstow, and they actually take their proceeds, it's a charity, and do community projects. So they recycle a lot of household things, they recycle paint, they recycle fabrics, anything that can be recycled, they have it in their shop, and then help the community with the proceeds, which is amazing. There was another shop in London that was closing down. Unfortunately, the owner had passed away, and the family were left trying to resell the business, which they couldn't do. So they then had literally a couple of weeks to get rid of all the stock. Otherwise, they would have had to throw it away. But they managed. They worked really hard. I had quite a lot of their fabric, and then they gave other fabrics to schools and, again, community projects to be used, so that it didn't end up in landfill.
Fantastic. So lots of different sources, and are you always looking for new sources if people were listening?
I have friends who do quilting.
Yeah.
And then they have fabrics that's not going to be of any use for their quilting projects, but there's nothing else that they want to do with it. But I can make a fabric gift wrap out of it.
Yeah. So
useful.
yeah. So you are not making these fabric wraps yourself at home. You have a manufacturer, is that right?
I am very big on promoting made in Britain.
Yeah.
Made in the UK generally, because I do think that there is a lot of potential that we have in our communities, and to actually help each other. So I have a factory in London. Well, I don't have a factory, I use a factory in London. I'd love to have a factory in London, but the factory that I use to make the fabric gift wrap is in London, and it's a family-run business. So they are a lovely bunch to work with. I love my factory visits, and they're very accommodating, and the quality of the work is exceptional. And being able to use a local, or it's still very local factory, means you can visit them, which makes lower carbon footprint, and the quality of the work, it's easier to check, and the work is done a lot faster. I don't have to wait for shipping. I don't have to have things held up in customs. So
so many benefits.
I actually found the factory by working with a lady called Kate Hills. So she promotes manufacturing in the UK, and she helps people to source factories and relocate from overseas, so that it brings back more production to the UK. And through her, I've had a great time working with her, and met some wonderful people, and all like-minded and wanting to help.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because so much of that industry went abroad. What were it, 20, 25 years ago, or longer than that? And now people are trying to go full circle and come back.
Yes, and that is the idea. But even today, factories are still closing down because they don't get the funding, and they don't get the help that other businesses do. So it is a shame, but we're working on it.
Yeah, fantastic. So not only are you saving fabric from landfill, making it into something that people can reuse, you're also supporting UK industry. Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely. It really is. So tell us, is there anything special we should know about the type of fabric, because I've talked to people before on the podcast, and also when I'm doing workshops, and people say, well, I wrap in fabric. I'll get a silk scarf from a charity shop, and I'll use that to wrap. But am I right in thinking that you could in theory use any old fabric to wrap, but there some special things about what the fabric wrap that we would buy from you?
So for me, because I use the dead stock surplus fabric, I have a huge range of different patterns and colours continually coming through.
Yeah.
That means that I don't just have cotton, or I don't just have silk. I will use polyester, because it has been manufactured and it will go to waste if you don't use it. So whilst it's not a sustainable material, it is still reusing something that would end up as textile waste.
Yeah.
And these all give a different finish to your gift. You can have a thicker cotton that would then make a smaller gift look quite bulbous. You can give it a little bit more wrapping. It makes it look larger and more impressive. So if you're giving somebody a pair of earrings or a ring, something quite thoughtful, then you don't just end up giving a little box, which is generally what happens. And people, do like to have a small gift, but if you can make that elevate the look of the gift as you're giving it, and you get joy with unwrapping it because it's tied, you don't need scissors or tape. It's so incredibly easy to make a beautiful looking gift just by tying the corners together. So if you're more a naturally creative person, you will do something more creative with the finished fabric wrapping to make it look different. So every gift you give is different, it looks different. I have silk fabrics, finer silks, raw silks. They have some of them have a lovely shine to them. So you get more of a dimension. It gives a third dimension to wrapping.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking that they are all, that the fabric wraps are square? Is that right?
They are square. And you take alternative corners. The easiest way to explain wrapping without being able to show people at the moment is you take opposite corners and you tie them together. First two corners, tie them. Second two corners, tie them. And literally, that is it. That is as difficult as it has to be. As I say, if you want to do something a little bit more intricate, you can also use things from you have in the home. So if you have gift ribbon, if you have string, you can use that to tie the corners together, which gives a different effect. Depending on the season, you can tuck foliage into the folds of the gift wrapping. So it's nice at Christmas to have some berries or some something nice and green and Christmassy to tuck in, just gives it that extra special. And also if you're travelling, so a lot of people travel these days, things aren't as local as they used to be. So if you're transporting a gift, if you've wrapped it with paper, I don't know whether it was just me and my gift wrapping, but it always used to tear. Or if you're wrapping a box and the corners tear and you have to stick that with more tape, that doesn't happen with gift wrapping because it's so flexible. You can take any shape, no matter how awkward it is, and it protects it. And it's easy. It doesn't rip. You can put it in your bag. You can put it in a suitcase to take it abroad. I've taken it everywhere. I've taken wrapped gifts everywhere, and you just pull it out of the bag, and it's like ta-da! And it looks amazing.
Yeah, so many benefits, definitely. Well, I think I'm really excited about using some of your fabric wraps because I'm going to be doing some demonstrations with them coming up next weekend. So we're recording it. We're recording this episode a week before we're at the Home Life and You show, and we'd love you to come along and see us. I'm going to be doing some paper wrapping demonstrations, but also some fabric wrapping demonstrations with Sue's Wraps on Saturday, the 18th of October. So if you are in the London area, we're going to be at Excel And we'd love you to come along and see us. Sue's also got a stand there as well, so you can see the full range of what she's got on offer, which is really exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having more of a practice and seeing what your wraps are like, because I've used some fabric wraps, but yours sounds very unique
No
and
pressure.
interesting.
Be watching your demonstrations.
Yes, I'm gonna have to be practicing, aren't I? But we're going to be doing wrapping a box or a book, aren't we, on the Saturday, to kind of show the basic way of wrapping and just how easy it is to do. So we're gonna start simple, aren't we? But I know there's a lot more that you can do with them, so many exciting things.
Oh,
Um,
yes. On the Sunday, I'll be doing some demonstrations as well. So I will bring along extra things and show people how to wrap things around the home, not just gifts.
yeah.
Because then you can have an accent colour in and around your home, whether it be a plant pot or a cushion, just to make a grey day a little bit more colourful, perhaps over the winter.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So you can take that, you can change your home decor to suit, the season by using the fabric wraps. Is that the
Yeah.
idea? Yeah.
Yes, and especially if you have a plant around the home in a nice pot, and you chip the pot. And we all know what it's like to then have to repot a plant.
Yeah.
It's very messy, and you never make the time to do it. So you simply wrap a piece of fabric wrap around it,
Yeah.
and you can change the colour. You can the seasons.
That's a great idea. I love that. Especially there's been a lot more of people doing that kind of thing, changing, for example, changing into autumn. Seen lots of people sort of doing that, and this is a sustainable way of adding those colours. So that sounds really interesting too. And I'm sure it's going to be, it being a home show, well, there's so many aspects to the show, aren't there? But I'm sure that that's going to be really of interest. So we're going to be in the community hub section for the demonstrations if you're coming to the show. And Sue has also got a stand, but do you know where the stand is going to be yet, Sue?
It is E62, so it is right by the community hub. It's opposite the book nook.
Okie dokie. I'm sure that's going to be a place where people are going to be interested in buying books from all of the really cool speakers that are going to be there. So that's going to be a really good spot. So do look out for Sue's stand as well if you're coming to the show. And we've got some codes that you can use to get some tickets for the show, and I'm going to pop those in the show notes afterwards, so you can use our codes to get a little bit off coming along to the show. So, Sue, can you tell me a little bit more about how you go about choosing gifts? Because you're obviously somebody who is very thoughtful when it comes to how you wrap them and thinking about the kind of eco side of things. But yeah, choosing the gifts that you're going to wrap, how do you go about doing that?
Well, unsurprisingly, I like useful gifts, not something that's somebody's going to unwrap and go, oh, that's really nice, and put it on a shelf, and never really have any use for it again. Although some gifts like that are very nice, and I have a lot of that from special friends. Um, so for me, edible gifts or something that's specific to the person. Um, so what would I give dog lovers? Now, dog lovers are easy to buy for because they really do love their pets. So you can get a jumper with something on it about a dog, a bag, something that's useful, something that they'll wear, something that hopefully won't just be left sitting around doing nothing. I would mental health. I think mental health is something that's quite prevalent these days. What with the pressures of work and university life, students, we all feel the pressure at some point. And I don't know, have you ever heard of weighted blankets or weighted? Yes. Now, I think that's a very good gift, especially because they're more of an expensive gift. But if you have a child that's going to university, or parents that are a bit strung out with work, or your partner or your husband, wife, whoever it may be, it also gives them a little bit of a comforting hug when you're not there if they need one. So you can be miles away. And as I've said, people tend to travel a lot these days. Um, and you can't always be there when you need it or when somebody really likes you to be there. So I think that's a very good gift to give. Um, and one thing that I used to do when the children were younger is sportswear.
Yeah.
Sportswear is always a good one, and clothes in general, because you're going to end up buying them anyway for your children.
Yeah.
If you can get some good quality clothes or sportswear, then they're usually really thrilled with them because they're unwrapping a gift and they can wear it, do whatever they like with it. But it really then stops you having to buy other things.
Yeah.
So
I do agree with a practical gift, definitely. And if they're into a particular sport, a sports team, that kind of thing, you're sort of ticking the hobby box and also, yeah, really a practical gift as well. Sounds like a really good one. But yeah, the weighted blanket, that's a really good suggestion for a practical gift that yeah, I can think of a few people who I know who might like that as a gift actually. So that's really
edible gifts. Now that's probably one of my favourites.
yeah. Making or buying?
Both. I've done both. I remember when I was in my early 20s, a while ago, a friend of mine was 21, bit pushed for money at that time in my life. So I got a chocolate box. I'd had chocolates. I used to keep the molds. And so I made her some handmade chocolates, put them in a little box, and I gave them to her. And she was really, really, really pleased with it. Um, but also, yeah, depends what time and facilities you have access to, really. Handmade, yeah, hand baked goods
Yeah.
are always preferable because that gives a little bit more thought. But also cheese boards, charcuterie. If you've been away, then buying a gift when you're abroad to then save to give. It means that you've thought of somebody twice. So it comes with a story. You can bring whatever you've bought from your holiday, and then you go, look, I bought this for you. I thought of you when I was away in June, whatever. And here's this really, really nice bottle of olive oil or something. And people are usually generally quite touched that you've thought about them so far in advance as well.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting idea, is to shop on holiday for gifting later. In my family, we do tend to swap gifts when we come back from a holiday, but we don't tend to save them. We give them straight away. But that's a really good idea, to buy things on holiday and then save them for a different occasion. So that's a great tip, actually. A great tip. Fantastic. So yeah, do you enjoy the process of choosing gifts?
I do, and I find generally gifts choose person. So you'll be doing something or thinking of something, and you go, "Oh, that would be really nice. So and so would really like that." Yes, it just seems to be more of a natural process.
That's really nice to hear. I don't think everybody feels um I think there is an art to it, and I think that's really interesting to hear that you feel like that process is quite natural, because it doesn't come naturally to everybody. I don't think. I think lots of people feel it's like another thing on their to-dos, and it's nice to be able to switch switch it up and just switch the mindset, isn't it, to enjoy the process of choosing.
Yes, and I think sometimes people miss the simple things in life.
Yeah.
So sometimes people will think of giving a gift, it's got to be really impressive, it's got to be this, that, and the other, when actually it doesn't always have to be that huge or expensive. It just has to be
No,
thoughtful.
absolutely. I received a gift the other day from a friend, and it was a mug, and it was a really lovely mug. I mean, actually, the mug itself is not. it's not beautiful actually, but it's a nice mug to drink out of, and it has the emblem of the university that we met at. And I just love it because, you know, it reminds me of the time that we spent there together. It's a nice shaped mug, it's a nice size, you know, like you say, it's a really simple gift, but I absolutely love it. So
Very thoughtful. That was
exactly.
the thing. That's what's made it such a special gift for you. It's the thought behind it.
Yes, exactly. So I think you're right. Let's not overthink gift giving and sometimes just go with the simple things. That's a great tip as well. Um, Fantastic. So you enjoy the process of giving gifts, and obviously you enjoy wrapping them with your fabrics. Yeah. So you gave me a little bit of a challenge when you sent me some ideas for what we wanted to talk about today, and that was that you're doing an amazing event, which involves. Do you want to tell us a bit more about what you're doing? It sounds like a really
Yes.
amazing thing to be part of.
Need some help with gift ideas,
Okay.
only because I'm doing something called the Rickshaw Rally. It's literally you go across India from Chennai in the east to Goa in the west in a rickshaw. Fortunately, it's motorized, it's not a pedal one. So
Yep.
because it's 1,000 kilometers, and that's if you don't get lost. So there's probably going to be extra mileage added onto that 1,000 kilometers. It's in
Wow.
next March, and it's in aid of raising money to build classrooms, support women and children that are less fortunate, that get no funding, and um, have quite a difficult life. They will then be able to either retrain or have new skills, education, classrooms to learn in, and also for mothers, new mothers, uh, postpartum care is non existent.
Mhm.
So, anemia is a huge problem. So, the women get treated and they have far better chance of being healthy and
Yeah.
healthy children. So, what we need is gifts. So, what I thought to myself is right, it's great that we're doing the fundraising. It's there's a group of women, and we're all going with the sisterhood. They're the people that arrange the trip. And we're a group of entrepreneurial women, so it's going to be quite fun.
Yeah.
No idea what the accommodation's like yet, so yeah, that will be interesting.
Right.
And yeah, the things that we'll see on the way. But I need gifts. Need gifts to give to children. We're going to be travelling through towns and villages, and as most people are going to be aware, India is very poor in places.
Mm.
So it would be nice to spread some joy and love along the way.
Yeah.
So, what do you think would be good gifts to take? We're going to
Wow.
coordinate as a group, so we're all going to give our ideas, and some people have access to materials and pens and all sorts that we're getting together on the group. But yes, what do you think
Ooh.
people?
So it's got to be things that that can travel well, hasn't
Yes,
it? So traveling well, and obviously not perishable or breakable. And presumably not too heavy because you're going to be in a rickshaw.
sure. Although it is motorized, so it's not too bad.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So small gifts. And I guess there will be a language barrier potentially. So you might not want to do so books, for example, might not be appropriate. No.
No,
Okay.
colouring books. Colouring
Colouring books.
books is something that I would think would be well received.
Yeah. Yeah, colouring books and stationery. What about gifts that might be um like sort of things like hats and gloves and things like that that would be like
Yes, clothing.
small items of clothing, that kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
yeah,
Yes, clothing.
yeah.
Everybody likes the ball.
Yeah, something nice and simple, a simple game to play.
Some small, yes, some small balls. that would probably be a very good gift, because adults and children alike like that.
Yes, that's a good point. Then it would be for, that kind of game, or a game like noughts and crosses, that kind of thing, maybe. Like tic-tac-toe, isn't it called?
Yes.
Small
Tic-tac-toe,
little
yeah,
games,
lots
things
of
like
crosses.
that, which don't have a language barrier. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, so a lot to think about, a
Yeah.
lot of fundraising to do,
Yeah.
because the aim of the game is to give as much as possible. Yeah, build classroom.
It sounds like an amazing event to be involved in. There's so many aspects of it. The actual going to the different country, the challenge of actually doing it, of
I've
course,
never
as
driven
well.
a rickshaw before.
No, no.
I have watched a YouTube video on it now, so I know the theory behind it.
You can literally learn anything from a YouTube
Pity my
video.
passengers. That's what I have for now.
Wow. Well, it sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it as you get closer to it and actually do the challenge too. So, an amazing like cause to be supporting as well. So, thank you so much for sharing that with us. So, yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic having a chat with you, and just hearing more about what you're doing with your fabric wraps, how you've really taken inspiration from save the fabric as well, and using it for something that's going to bring some joy to people as well. It's that's what gift giving is all about, isn't it? Spreading a little
It
joy.
is,
So,
yes, yes. Tick as many boxes as possible and spread as much joy as you can.
yeah, exactly. So don't forget, come and see Sue and I next weekend at the Home Life and You show at Excel London. We would love to see you. Either come and see us in the community hub, or go and see Sue at, what was that stand again? Stand
E62.
E62. Go and see Sue, and you can see all of her wraps and talk to her more about her what she's doing and her rickshaw challenge too.
Yes, and I do love to talk about my wraps and my rickshaw challenge, so I can quite easily bore a few people. So come and see me.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Sue. We've already said that we were going to do a part 2 after we've done the show as well. So you can look out for that episode coming in a few weeks' time as well. But in the meantime, thank you very much, Sue. Thank you for listening to the Greener Gifting Gang podcast. For free resources, head to giftwrapedbyeve.com/freebies. And follow Eve on socials at giftwrapedbyeve on Instagram and Facebook.